Alright guys, so we're getting there. The last thing that we need, well, the last major thing that we need to do here is edit and update functionality. Alright, so there's a few different places we could start, but what I'd like to do is start with the edit button. Alright, so when we click this, what happens? So let's go to our contact component because that's where the button is. And you can see that we have it going to this .handle edit. Alright, so we're going to have to create that, but we also want to bind the, actually we want to bind the whole contact, the whole object. So we're going to add on to that and just say dot bind, and we're going to pass in this, and then this dot props dot contact, and I think that, yeah, just this dot props dot contact, because that's going to give us the whole object. When we were removing it, we passed in the ID because we're not actually passing data. We're just telling the system we want to delete this one with this ID. But now we actually need the content. All right, so let's go ahead and add that down here. Actually, I'll just copy this, and we'll put that as handle edit. Is that what I did? Yeah, handle edit. And then we're going to call appActions.edit contact. Alright, so let's save that, and then we'll go over to appActions. Okay, so actually let's just copy that. So edit. Now, edit contact and then update contact are going to do two totally different things. Edit is going to make it so that whatever one we choose here is going to show up in the edit form, which we'll create in a minute. Alright, update is going to take care of when we actually submit that form and update the data. Alright, so edit contact, we're going to pass in the whole contact. So get rid of those IDs, and then this will have its own constant. And we'll save that and then go and add that constant. Alright, now to the store, we're going to need another case here. Okay, that's going to be edit contact. And I'm going to get rid of this console log and get rid of this API call. Basically what we want to do here is we want to call a store function called setContactToEdit. Okay, because we want to set one of the contacts to be the one that's going to be edited. Alright, so we're going to pass in action contact. Now let's go up here and create that, but before that let's create a new state, and this is going to be called, one second, what did I call this? Contact to edit. Alright, and that's going to be equal to just an empty string for now. Alright, that's going to be the default. So now we want to create that function. Let's go down here and set contact to edit. Okay, and that's going to be passed in contact. And let's see, we're just going to set that value, contact to edit, to whatever's passed in, just like that. Alright, now just to see if this actually gets set, let's go back to our app component and go to the render, and instead of logging this .state.contacts, let's get oh, actually before we do that, we need to actually include it up here to get it into our state. Alright, so let's put contact to edit, and we'll save that to an App Store function called getContactToEdit. Okay, and that's just going to fetch it for us. So we need to create that. So back in the App Store, we'll go right beneath it. Actually, I'll just copy this. And let's change this to get. Okay, and it's not going to need to take in anything. All we're going to do here is just return the contact to edit. Alright, and then back in our component, we'll go back down to the render and say this dot state dot contact to edit. Alright, so let's hope that that works. So what it should do is when we click edit, it should show the contact down in the console that we click. Okay, so I clicked it and there it is, John Doe. Now just to test this further, let's add some names to this. I'll add myself. And we'll just say Brad at something.com and submit. Let's add someone else. We'll say Tim Smith. Okay, submit. Alright, so let's reload that, and now let's click edit for Tim Smith. Actually, it looks like it's just giving us the whole, it's giving us everything. Let's see. This dot state dot contact to edit. Get contact to edit. If we go look at that, it's going to return this. Alright, so let's try something else then. We'll comment that out for now. And we know when we click the edit, we know that it's calling the action edit contact, right? So let's go ahead and try to log it out here. Make sure that, oh, that's what it was. Gulp wasn't running. So it probably was working, so I'm just going to put that back and then run Gulp. Okay, so we'll click Brad. Oh, it's still doing it. Unless it just hasn't refreshed yet. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Alright, so you see I click Tim, and it's going to give us him. If I click John, it's going to give us John. So we know that it's putting it into the state contact to edit. Alright, we know that. So what we want to do now is we want to check that state, and if there is something in that edit state, then we want to show the edit form. Alright, and we want to insert whatever contact we click, we want to show up in here. So what we'll do is in our main app component, we're going to go to the render. Alright, and we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to run an if statement and check the state. Alright, so what we're going to do is say if this dot state dot contact to edit is equal to just a blank string, then we know the edit button hasn't been clicked, so we want to just show the add form. So what we'll do is create a variable called form, and we're just going to set it to what we have down here. Okay, I'm going to just cut that out. Alright, now the else statement, this means that the edit button was actually pushed, alright, or clicked. So we want to say form, and we're going to set that to edit form, which we haven't created yet, and then we also want to pass in contact to edit. Okay, we want to save that or make that equal to the state contact to edit. Alright, and then we simply want to just put in our form variable here. Alright, so let's save that. And what we'll have to do, up here, we need to require the edit form that we're going to create. Okay, and we'll go into components, new file, edit form.js, and I'm going to copy what we have in add form. Okay, and we'll just change that. Down here we want to change this. And let's change the title to edit contact. Alright, and then in order to fill these with a value, we have to add a couple things. Okay, we have to add an onChange event here. And we're going to set that to this dot handle change dot bind, and then we're going to pass in this, and then whatever the field name is, in this case it's name. Alright, and then we want to set a value